Hello everyone, this is Priyanshu Gupta here. In this series, we will see how you can deploy your Django web application on Heroku platform. I have seen many videos on YouTube regarding deployment of Django web application on Heroku platform, but this video is going to be different from them because I will be handling all the reasons for whatever step I will do in this video. I will be explaining you everything in detail so that your concepts are cleared. And once your concepts are cleared, then you can deploy your application on any platform. So my main goal will be to clear all your doubts and why do we use these steps or why do we perform certain steps while deploying any application on a server. In this series, we will cover topics like how you can handle static and media files in your Django web application and what are different ways to serve them on your client side. Like you can do that by using Django itself, then using white noise, then using AWS S3 bucket, then using Nginx. So there are different ways. So why do we do that or why do we do such? I will be covering everything in this video, and what is the difference between static files and media files and how you have to handle them differently. Then we will see how Heroku deploys your Django web application on a dyno. So basically Heroku uses a term dyno, which is a term that it uses for a server space that it allocates you to deploy your Django web application. So basically you put your Django web application code on a Heroku server which it provides you. Then we will see what is the difference between web server, WSGI server and your Django web application and its WSGI file. And then we will see how you can use a PostgreSQL database of Heroku that Heroku provides you for free for certain limits. And then we will see how you can add a custom domain to your Django web application on Heroku and how you can add a free SSL certificate to it. So there are basically two ways with which you can deploy your Django web application on Heroku platform, either using a GitHub or using Heroku CLI. In this video, we will focus on the GitHub method. So before starting, I request you all to please hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel. So without wasting time, let's get started. First, let's explore what our Django project is. So basically this is a project that I made and named it as MyBitCompanion. So basically this is the basic streaming service application like Netflix and Amazon Prime. And this is not a complete web application that I have made. This is basically just a web page which contains certain static files and certain media files. So basically this is a slider here in which I have placed certain static files here. Like these three images are static files, and the images that you can see here, like on movies banner, like this one and the shows images, these are basically the media files. So this is a static file and these are media files. And the CSS that you can see on this web page, like this black color, the padding and this margin and all the stuff, this coloring, all this stuff is handled in the static file. So this CSS is also static. So media files is basically something that is inserted on your web application, and respective to that image, a certain record has been created in your database table. Like as soon as I add this image of the Spider-Man movie respective to the record in database, which is Spider-Man movie, then it will add the URL for this image wherever it will get stored. So if I go to my admin panel here, and let's first clear this. So if I go to my admin panel and explore this movies database table, then you can see there are two objects. Okay, one is movie object 2 and one is movie object 1. So if I go to movie object 2, there you can see a image field in database. So as soon as I choose file here and place an image here, then it will add this URL which I have specified in my models.py file. It will add the URL for that file in my database. This is the difference between static and media files. And what are static files? These are basically what a developer adds the hard-coded URL for wherever they are stored on server or anywhere in the code, in the HTML file, so that they can be served on the client side. So these are static files for which the URL is not stored in database, and media files are something for which their URL gets stored on the Django database. And basically these media files are inserted from the client side so that you can dynamically add those images on the database, and then our web application can serve them dynamically on the client side. So first thing that we will have to do is we will have to push our Django application code to GitHub. So basically what we will do is we have a code of our Django web app. This is a local machine, okay, on my local machine. And then we will push this code to GitHub repo. And then what we will do is we will link this GitHub repository to our Heroku platform, to our Heroku server. Okay, so that Heroku can take all the files from GitHub. Whenever we will push anything on this GitHub and we will refresh the server here, like there's a reload button over there where we can add, like first step will be to add a GitHub repo to the Heroku platform. Whenever we will create a new project, it will ask us to deploy your web application either using two ways. So we will choose a GitHub method and then we will add the GitHub repository and the branch for that. And once we have added this here, then it will deploy our application. And soon, like later, if you want to update the code for your web application, then what you can do is you can directly push it again to GitHub, and then you can reload this web application on Heroku platform. There will be a button for reload, and then as soon as you reload, then it will take the files from GitHub, extracts from there, and then it will update the web application that is hosted over Heroku platform. So this is the way that we are going to follow. So before pushing your Django web application code on GitHub, let's first explore how this web application is working and how this media files and static files are being served on this local server. So if I go to my project here on VS Code, then you can see here there are URL patterns. Then in settings.py file, we have configured we have installed apps, that is main app, which has views, which is a basic view in which we are taking two objects from database and rendering it in a dictionary format to our client side, and then we are using these dictionary objects so that, and then we are using these objects in our templates so that we can display those files on our, so that we can display the database data on the client side. And this is the template. And in our main app, that is our main app, it is a static folder which contains a main app, so that we can distinguish, and it contains a static file. And this is our main app which contains a static folder which has three folders like JS, which is empty, then CSS, which is also empty, and images. So these are images for banner that we have added here. Okay. And to display static files and media files over client side, what we have done is we have mentioned here static URL, static root, media URL, and media root. And this is static files DIRs. So basically this static files DIRs, what is it is, so basically what happens is when we are in development mode, we use a app of Django which is built in it, and that is django.contrib.static files. So basically this is the app that Django provides us, and it will work only when this debug is equals to true. Once it is false, then it will stop working. And then we will have to configure how you can handle the static files on our own on the deployment server. So when you are in development mode, then you have to specify a static files DIRs, which I have specified as static CDN. So I've made a folder which is not inside my app, okay, which is not inside my main app, which is outside all the apps in our project directory. And there I have made a folder which is static CDN, in which I have mentioned the app name, and then I have added a folder which is CSS, and I have placed the CSS file here in index.css. So if I comment this and press Ctrl save and refresh this page, because it has been loaded in my browser local cache, so I have to delete the cache of this browser. If I go to settings here, then clear now, then if I refresh this page, then you can see the CSS is removed, because currently the debug is equals to true. We are using the static files app which is in our installed apps. Then it looks for static file in two places by default. First is inside the static folder of main app. So for that we don't have to specify any URL or directory in settings.py file, because it is by default look into the main app's static folder. So the images that we have provided here, the banner images, they are automatically getting served on client side. But to serve the static files which are outside your main app, which we have placed in our project directory, so for that you have to specify the path for that. So that's why we have specified the path, that is static CDN, to serve them. So, and to serve the media files here, to serve the media files, what we have done is we have added certain things in urls.py file. So this is the urls.py file that is in our project folder. In that we have mentioned, like, if settings.debug, when settings.debug field is true, then only this will work. There we have mentioned a URL pattern here. So I have watched many videos and the YouTubers add this URL pattern of static root by default, but this is of no use now, because first of all we are not using static root when we are in our development mode, when debug is equals to true, and this code will work only when debug is equals to true. So this is of no use here. So basically it uses a static module of Django to serve the media files here. And if this URL pattern is important to mention when you are not using static files dirs app here, because we have static files app by default in our Django. So there is no need to mention a URL pattern for static files here. Okay, because they are already being handled by the static files app that is pre-installed in our Django application. But if you are not using the static files dirs app and press Ctrl save, and then if I refresh this page, if I clear now here and if I refresh this page, then you can see there that our all the static files are being removed. Okay, like all the CSS and the banner images. Then it's necessary to add a URL pattern here by our own, because earlier when we are using a static files app, then this URL pattern is being added by that app. So now if I uncomment this and refresh this page, then also you can see no static files are displayed here, because we have mentioned a document root here which is static root, and currently we have not placed anything in our static root. Static root is basically a folder for storing all the static files respective to your Django application on your deployment server. So this there is a command in Django web application which is python manage.py collect static. What it will do is it will bring all these static files that you have mentioned in your settings.py file. That is by default it will take all the static files that are mentioned in your application, like in your static folder of your main app, and also it will bring static files from the directory which you have mentioned here in static files dirs. But this will work only if you are using a static files app. That command will also work only if you are using a static files app. Otherwise you have to manually add those static files all together in one directory, because when you are in a deployment mode, it is necessary for you to place all your static files in one folder, so that you can tell the server that this is the place where all my static files are. So here you have to mention the document root as settings dot static files dirs. If I press Ctrl save here, And if I refresh this page, then also you can see that nothing has come here. And now if I write here static files dir's 0th index, and if I refresh this page, then you can see that CSS has arrived here because we have mentioned the exact path of this. But you can see that still now the banner images are not there. Okay, because we have not mentioned the document root here. And even if I remove this if settings or debug here, these two URL patterns will not work if debug is equals to false. Then also, because this static directory, this static module that we are using of our Django, this will work only if our debug is on, because it is designed in such a way that it automatically switch off. It automatically switch off, like Django do not handle the static files by its own. Because when you are on your deployment server, then to reduce the load on itself, Django handles this responsibility of taking care of static media files to the server or another application or any third-party services that you are using, like AWS S3 bucket. Okay. So if you want your Django application only to serve the static and media files by itself, like if you want to add a load, extra load on your Django application itself, then you can use Django application itself for serving static and media files. But for that, you have to do certain changes here that I will show you now. Okay. So basically, let's clear this canvas. Let's see in what ways you can serve your static and media files. Okay, let's see that. But before that, let's talk about web server, WSGI server, Django built-in server, and our WSGI file that is here, wsgi.py file. Let's discuss about that. So basically, when we are in development mode, Django, we run the command python manage.py run server. Okay, and this is our Django application code. All the code is here. Okay, and this code has a certain part here which is server. Okay, this is a code for built-in server that is placed in your Django application, and as soon as you hit the python manage.py run server, then it starts the server here, and then we have a file called wsgi py file, and this is our code that you write here. Okay, the custom code that you writes. So basically it starts a server here, and this server takes the requests for clients. Okay, and after taking requests from users, it tries to contact the code that we have written through wsgi.py file. So basically it invokes the function that is present in our WSGI, and the full form of WSGI is web server gateway interface, because it acts as a gateway interface of our Django application to the server, to our clients. So that's why its name is this. So our Django application is basically a WSGI framework. And what is the difference between ASGI and WSGI? I'm not covering that in this video. We will see that in different videos, okay, which I will be uploading soon. So here it invokes this WSGI file and calls a respective function which a user is requesting for, and then the request is handled here. Okay, this is how it works. If you go to this wsgi.py file, there you can see a code that is application equals to get WSGI application. So basically our server invokes this function that is get WSGI application, and with this function it is able to contact our Django application code. Okay, and now let's discuss about how Heroku serves your application. So basically it uses a gUnicorn server. It uses a gUnicorn server. Okay, like earlier we were using a built-in server of Django, but now instead of this server we are using this gUnicorn server. Okay, and now this gUnicorn is basically a WSGI server, which is now responsible for handling all these requests. Okay, and this gUnicorn like if we are using a built-in server, then it starts only one Python process which performs all the tasks. But as soon as we start this gunicorn server, it starts multiple workers. Okay, it can have multiple workers as well, like this one, this one, this one. Basically starts some processes for Python that can handle your code. And in these workers, so Heroku, I don't know by default how many workers it use. So let's imagine that currently we are having only one worker. Okay, that currently we are having only one worker, as we were having in our default built-in server. So now it's our Django application code which has a server, built-in server, then WSGI file. But now, since we are not using the server file here, we are using this gunicorn, then this wsgi.py file is invoked here. Instead of the server, we are not running the server, we are using this gunicorn server, and inside that, this wsgi.py file application is invoked. Okay, and this is how it is able to contact the code that we have written in our Django application. So Heroku use this server, and why we do not use the built-in server of Django in deployment? Because it is not fully safe. Okay, because when we are deploying our application on a platform which is publicly available, then it has to add certain security measures like firewalls, and it should be a thread safe. So it is all very complicated. So I'm not going deep in that, but for security point of view, we are not using this built-in server of Django. And now there will be a one more question in your mind, like you have heard of something called Apache and Nginx as well. So this gunicorn is basically a WSGI server. And now we will talk about a web server. So this Nginx, this is basically a web server. And now this Nginx will call gunicorn, and then gunicorn will handle our code. But Heroku by default not uses this Nginx. It only uses gunicorn to directly serve your clients. So if you are using this Nginx, what are the advantages here? So it acts as a reverse proxy here. Like if you are requesting to a server for a certain request, then it will contact the gunicorn and then it will serve the files of Django. And if you are using Nginx, it has the capability to serve static and media files by itself. Okay, and once you use Nginx, then you can tell Nginx, then now it's your responsibility to handle static and media files. So now the load from Django is being transferred to this Nginx. But if you are using this gunicorn only, we use applications like white noise. White noise, or we are using a Django itself, or we can use a AWS S3 bucket to serve static files. So what are the differences between all these things is that if you are using Django itself, then it's the responsibility of Django to serve static files and media files also. Like it is serving all the backend code also, and now it also has the responsibility for serving these static files. So it's an extra overload. It's an extra load that we are adding to our Django application. So basically it's a wrong practice to do in such a way. So that's why we use an application called white noise. So this white noise is basically something which you have to use, which you have to install on your virtual environment using pip install. Okay, and then you will add this white noise app inside Django application, and then white noise provides certain advantages, like it provides some zipping and unzipping algorithm to handle static files and media files to provide efficiency and to increase the speed of serving those static and media files. And also it uses something called caching to serve your static files and media files to the client side. But here also, if you are using a white noise, then also there is some load that is added to our Django application, because basically this is a Python pip module. Okay, and then we have a other application which is AWS S3 bucket. What you do is you have to link this S3 bucket to your Django application using a storages module, and then you can as soon as you write the command python manage.py collect static, then all your static files will be transferred to this S3 bucket, and later on when you are serving those static files, then they will come from that S3 bucket only. So you can use this S3 bucket for serving your static files and media files as well. So now we have learned about different ways to handle static and media files, like using a static files DIRs. The static files app is built in Django, but this can handle only your static files, not media files. Okay, for media files we have to specify a URL here, that is here in your urls.py file. Here you have to provide a URL for that is media root here. Okay, and if you are not using static files app, then you have to provide the URL patterns for your static files directory as well here. But the static module of Django will work, that is being used by static files app. These will work only if debug is equals to false. So once debug is equals to true, then the static module of Django will not work, either for static files or either for media files. Then you have to use a library called serve here. So for that you will add a URL here, that is this one. And then if you even comment this, if I press Ctrl save here, then you will have to use a module which is django.views.static import serve, and now it will work. Okay, now we have enabled this for media root. Okay, and also let's uncomment this static files app. Okay, Ctrl save. And now if I go to our server and refresh this page, then you can see all the static files are arrived here. And now if I even clear the cache here to see if media files are being served or not, and I refresh this page, then you can see here all the media files are there, because we are providing the RE path. And now even if you turn debug equals to false, like if I do debug equals to false, then all your media files will be there. Okay, we have to add let's add the star here, and let's start this server. So basically this allowed host means the endpoints with which you allow your Django application to be served. Okay, like you have to provide here all the domains or the server IP address. So if any client tries to contact with your Django application through that endpoint, through that IP address or domain, then Django will allow those users to interact with that Django web application. Otherwise it will block all of them. So now if I refresh this page, then you can see all our media files are there as well as static files. And now if I remove this URL here and refresh this page, if I clear this cache and I refresh this page, you can see here there are no static files and media files as well, because currently we are debug equals to false, so static files app will not work. So that's why this static module will not work. Even if I uncomment these and shift tab, Control save, even if I press this, then also our media files and static files will not come here, because this static module will not work. So if I uncomment this RE path, then let's see it will work or not. Now you can see that it's working. Okay, and since we have added the path for only the media root, for only the media files, that's why they are being served here. Okay, because whenever we upload a media file through our client side, then it automatically gets stored in our this media root which we have mentioned here. Okay, this media root. So static root is basically for deployment only, but this media root is for both deployment and as well as your development mode also. So you should not fix this like this can be used in only in development mode or this can be used in only in deployment mode. It's basically on your side how you handle them. Once your concept is cleared, then you can adjust it according to your own. So I've tried my best to explain you how these static files and media files works and how you can serve them in different ways. That's it for this video. I hope you have liked the video, and don't forget to post your queries in the comment section box. So stay tuned, stay connected. See you in next video.